bought a new intake and carb. So now I have to switch them. This intake ain't bad, but it's got a different bolt pattern than the Holley carb I got. Which they're both factory Chrysler intakes and carbs. Just the intake I have is for 440. Alright, so what I've done is I've actually bought this new Valley pan because the place I went to, which is called Epps Auto, they build Mopars a lot, and they said these are actually all you need to reseal the intake. These are actually dimpled on the new one, so that way it will fit, and you just put some RTV on the back sides of it. But if you look in there, let me see that gray goo? That came out of part of the engine here. Now, I am putting the 440 intake and 4-barrel Holley on here that is off of original a Fury. But look down in there. It's really clean. Them cam is super nice in there. But that's where the gray goo came from. If you watch here, push down in there, and it's some gray goo. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, it's sort of giving me the feeling that this engine was rebuilt somewhat recently, and that might be like the what's that stuff called, you know, you put it on lifters and stuff, you know, the break-in with an engine rebuilding assembly lube. That's what it might be, and it's just in there. But that definitely means once I get it running good, I need to get it hot, or should I say get it up to temperature, and drain that fluid all big time, you know. Get this all set back up here. But that's basically all that there is. That cam looks really good. I mean, it looks fresh. Usually flat tap like that, they look ground down a lot. Those look brand new. Brand new. So, I think those are fine. So I don't think it's a cam issue. Oh, that's great. Just blew a bunch of crap down in there. But trying to get this crap that's come off when I pulled the stuff off the intake in Valley. I'm gonna re-RTV it, put that new Valley on, put on the new, or not the new, but put the supports back on there and everything. Here's the 440 intake right there. I painted it black. It was orange. I just said I don't want orange in there. I plan on, if it runs good and everything, I might paint the engine turquoise again, the original color. But that's a maybe. I'm not sure. I'm keeping the intake, the original intake and carb. I'm going to put it in the trunk just in case somebody's freaky about it. I don't really care. It's a 440. Intake, carb are exactly the same. Yeah, but I found out that you don't have to use the gaskets. The actual, you get 4 gaskets. It goes down, then the Valley, then another one. Same on the other side. And that's what, you know, everybody told me to get. But after talking to the guy who builds Mopars, he's like, no, you don't need that. The new Valley is dimpled and it makes up for it. So I believe him because I had a wicked hard time putting everything back on to force it through all them gaskets. So I'm gonna go open the RTV here, put it on the valley, put the valley on, and everything that goes with the valley, and put the intake on. So you always want to do a good thick line on the back and on the front side, which you can't see, but then a nice even thin bead on your valley there. And now we'll set the valley in and bolt down the I don't know what you'd call the back of them. I guess the back of the valley. It's actually a really springy setup. But once we get these bolts started, and again, I painted that with cheap black just to keep it from, you know, building up water and rusting out or anything. Metal ain't like it once was. It's real thin and cheap now. If I was planning to keep this thing, which I am not, I would probably really port match the intake and everything. Give me 1 second here, I'm trying to find a socket. The socket I was using. Because there's just a giant gap in every bit of the intake there. There's probably, I'm going to say over 1/8 of an inch that I could actually improve on the heads. If not more. I mean, there's a ton of room there. If that center is a water jacket, which I'm going to go ahead and say it is, it can be improved a bunch. Which would probably make it run cooler. That bolt's got a little burr on it. The only thing I don't like about working on old cars, you gotta reach forever and a day over a fender. And when you're a big guy, it's a little bit more of a difficult task. Gotta reach over and then some. Alright. That's good to go now. Now, the intake's probably a little wet still. I'm gonna sit her on there. She only weighs a ton. Yes, sir. She weighs a ton. So we've come across our first problem with the 413 440 intake swap here. The bracket is actually the hole that goes right here and bolts through the intake is actually further back. So I'm gonna have to take this bracket off, and they say waller here, which means make a hole bigger. I'm just gonna say drill the hole out, but I'm gonna have to waller that hole out. So I'm going to take that off. It's only got a little cotter pin and a little ratchet here that takes it off. But yeah, that's the only problem so far. Sometimes it looks like it's going to work and sometimes it don't. Oh yeah, it's got to go back about 1/8. So I'm going to pull that off.